Hut 1. So the first loop, Spruce Loop, 3.5 kilometers. 1.8 we'll get to Hut 2. We're headed to Hut 3, so 8.2 kilometers. Tomorrow we'll go to Hut 4 on the way back, make it all the way, do 40 kilometers. I'm not going to do too much between here and Hut 3. I've seen a lot of Hut 3 videos. Been up there 3 times so far. So we'll look mostly on this trip at the latter half of the way. It's the Newfoundland Loop, which is the loop between Hut 3 and Hut 4. The bugs are out. I've already had one tick. It's a good start. We started at the trailhead, which is over here, and we did the 2 kilometers into Hut 2, where there was a family out camping, and then hiked up over here. Hut 3 is right around here, marked on the map. So from here we'll head 1 kilometer, and then we walk all the way around here past the road. I think we made it last time we're out. I think we stopped for lunch right around here. And then we got to finish all the way to the Jackfish Lake cabin here. And then tomorrow we're going to come all the way back to there. So we're moving. It's 11:26 in the morning. We got 10 kilometers into the Jackfish cabin. There's about, I think there's 2 other groups of 2 that rolled into the hut just as we left, and they're going to head to Jackfish Lake cabin as well. So hopefully they'll... so it might be a bit of a crowd out there. There's another fellow with his dog. But anyways, here we are. Hopefully this will show up here. I think it's going to show. So here's our map, our little E-Trex. You can see us moving there. And where are we? Go move menu back. Whoops. And down to the trip computer, which I reset before we left. And as you can see, 11:32. We've only done half a kilometer. 4.4 is our moving average. I think we'll try to get more about a 4 kilometer average. And we've lost Jason. 11:30, half a kilometer. What did the sign say? 10.4 to go. So we got 10 left.
10 kilometers?
Mm-hmm.
We have 10 kilometers.
As she dies. And here he comes.
What are you going to call him?
We can keep walking. If you remember, when I was out with Les there, we had this big long hill to come up. And it's actually quite nice. Really rolling. And that, at the base of this up at the bottom is a big hill. A couple hundred meters, goes up about 15 degrees. So it'll be a good walk. Good hill?
It's a good hill.
So if you're doing the whole trail one day, this is the intersection where you go into the Newfoundland Loop. You got the south one that comes up here. It's 11 kilometers to the cabin. We're 9.1 from the parking lot. We've done 1.1 from where we stopped last night. And this sign, 12.2 kilometers to into the cabin. So that's the way we're going. And we take this one a little bit longer in today because it's a short day for us. And then tomorrow when we have the long day where we're hiking all the way out, we'll take the shorter route on the way back.
I'll come back. Oh, you'll come back?
Yeah,
okay.
you guys can rest in the shade there for
Oh, okay. That works for me. back.
So I'm hearing off in the distance rumbles, like you would expect thunder to hear, but it doesn't have the same sound as thunder. And we'll see if you can hear it here. It goes boom, 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 boom. Now, we are next door to Shiloh, which is a Department of National Defense base. And they do have artillery regiments that come out here and practice. So it could be that. Hard to say. Can't really see. There is some clouds off in the distance. And any day you get temperatures like this, you're going to end up with usually some thunderheads roll through later in the day. It's a little early for that. We'll have to see. We're doing about 4.5 kilometers an hour. On hiking, we've hiked about 45 minutes so far. And we're just having a little rest in the shade up there. It is supposed to get close to 30 today. So it is hot. So I think we're each carrying about 2 liters of water. But yeah, if you're gonna hike in these conditions, you just got to be mindful of the fact of how hot it is. Break time. 3.94 kilometers is what we traveled in 51 minutes roughly. It's 12:30. We're doing about 4.6 kilometers an hour, so it's pretty quick. A few stops, 3.3 the overall moving time. We got 9 hours to sunset. Don't think we need to worry about that. Eh? Think we're good for that today?
Yep. Some wild raspberries right there too. Bushes, you see little babies on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Probably be ready in about
Yeah.
we have 2 seasons.
I'm not gonna wander over there. I'll just sit right here. Watch the dragonflies.
Actually, what I did in
I've seen it.
Okay.
I've thought about buying. I haven't, but I've thought about buying.
The strawberries.
Yeah.
Wild strawberries coming in.
There's a good,
Be a while, and then they'll look good. 3-flowered Avon, and then later in the season, prairie smoke and old man's whiskers. There you go. You see it over there too, all the way out in the fields. So pretty cool. We're back on the road to a mixed forest here. Some aspen, some spruce, some young oak, some bushes, probably some pin cherry, some Saskatoon. Heading up here. I think we're going to come up to the road pretty soon. And yeah, we'll keep going. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a nice little rest. Had some runners come by, scare the crap out of us. It's all good. And yeah, another 8 kilometers to go. A little bit more of the rolling hills here. See, it goes up over there and that, and we're past the area that Les and I made it to, so we have nice stands of oak here. I always love oak trees. I don't know what it is about them. Just always enjoy them. Every now and then we get a nice blast of air come through. Give you a bit of a feeling of coolness as, you know, you get flushed because it is warm out. Climbing another hill here. So that's one thing you will find on this trail is there's not elevation in the sense of you're hiking up the side of a mountain for hours, but you're constantly walking up and down hills, rolling hills, I guess you'd call them. But there's a lot of change to the land, and it is warm here. So if you're coming, make sure you're ready for it. And should should be good. But other than that, it's a lot of fun.
Termites got at it, I think.
Bugs, woodpeckers,
Bugs, yeah.
everything.
That might be rub from some of the game.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about it being so high.
Well, probably falls off anyways.
Walk along with the water.
Well, they do have elk out here. So I know that. Almost there. We're almost there. It's a good walk. What do we got here? 13.4. Average speed 4.7. 2.5 hours moving since this morning. So that would be, is it 2.5 or 2.5? That's 3. So 3 hours moving to get in here. And we did 2 yesterday, so a total of 5 hours of hiking so far to get us all the way to the cabin in Jackfish Lake. I imagine it's what, right at the bottom of the hill?
Yep.
And if you want to go back tomorrow, it's 19.7 back to the car, or 20.8 that way. So we'll go tomorrow we're going to take the shorter way. Although I don't think that'll be any easier on some. But, Jackfish Lake. Locked gate ahead. All vehicles are prohibited beyond this point. Registered hikers. Well, we're not a registered hiker because there is no registration. But the parks usually they just like to know. I asked them one time about registration, and they said just let us know that you're going in there by calling the office, just so that we know who's in the backcountry.
I paid the $5 and then I just assumed that's what that was for.
The $5 is for just the vehicle permit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to be able to park your vehicle there. But if you've got a pass, you don't need to put your pass in there. So here's the cabin. Jackfish Lake cabin. You know what? It's a pretty happy sight.
Yeah, like I said, it's really cheap. Like when I came down here, I was like, this is nice.
It is. Well, I picked it too because they're sleeping in hammocks, those two. So they've got trees to get in some hammocks. And this is a nice big open area here. In Spruce Woods Provincial Park, the Epinette Creek Trail system has one of the loops, the Newfoundland Loop, which ends at the Jackfish Cabin. The Jackfish Cabin is located in the Newfoundland Ravine. The Newfoundland Ravine is isolated and of great beauty, and it is dedicated to the people of Newfoundland by the people of Manitoba, in recognition of our diversity of landscapes, parks, and peoples. This part of Spruce Woods Provincial Park resembles the landscapes of Newfoundland, which forge the character of her people. Newfoundland is Canada's youngest and most easterly province. It was once Britain's oldest colony and a full-fledged dominion in its own right. Newfoundland joined the Canadian Confederation in 1949. The Newfoundland Trail honors the province of Newfoundland, symbolizing a link between our two peoples, provinces, and parks. It develops and merges our futures within Canadian Confederation. That's what the plaque outside the Jackfish Cabin reads. It was dedicated in 1982. There's a little creek out here, and we're taking a look for this ice-cold creek. We gotta find out where it is. This is a shortcut to a cabin. We'll take it on the way out tomorrow. I think we're here. Ooh, what a pretty little creek.
It is. What if you could filter it? Just asking.
Yeah, you probably could. Just give you a real quick look around the Jackfish Lake site here, just in case anyone decides they want to come out here. Outhouse? It's an outhouse. Lots of grassy area here for tenting. There's some tent spots you can see over there. Might want to avoid camping under that tree though. It's nice level there, but there's a big dead branch standing up there. Over in there, we got a couple of dead trees, but hammock hangers hung themselves over in there. But there's a few tent spots down there. A couple other people camped over here. You got the wood pile over there, and then the hut. It's a really nice little hut. I'll take a peek inside there in case you're going to come out for a snowshoe in the winter or a ski out here. And see what you're getting into. Not sure how bright it'll be in here, but we'll give it a whirl. Oh, there's the door open here. So got a little visitor log. There's a pack of matches, a table, garbage can. There's a bench. There's a box with some wood over there. Some papers, some fire starters. Some people left. A couple park maps. They have broom, dustpan, axe. They got a couple candle holders. I don't know if you can see it very well here, but you know, stuck into the log, and you can put a candle in it to give yourself some light at night. There's one there, and there's one over on the other side of the room. So the wood stoves that they provide here give you some heat in here and get it going. You sleep up top, way up there. There's another candle holder up there. It's pretty hard to see up there. I don't know if this will get it up there, but yeah, hopefully. And then as we come down, a few more benches, I guess, so you can sleep on here. You can sleep up there in the winter. And yeah, it's built in 1980 to be shared equally by all skiers and hikers. That's Jackfish Lake cabin. The spirit. Most of the garbage when you come out here, the Parks Department actually puts in some garbage bins and a recycling bin. Recycle Everywhere's been here. Go figure. And then of course the well. The main trail is the way we came in, down this way, past the gate. We're going to take a shortcut trail out that takes 1.2 kilometers off, but it goes up a steep hill and it's right up this way. We head straight up there. And that's about it. Other than that, time for us to get on the trail. Talk to you later. Oh, just came up out of the ravine, up to the top here above where we are. And you gotta see this.
Oh my God.
Last night as we're sleeping, all we could hear is frogs. Probably off from over there. I think that's Jackfish Lake. It's really just a little swamp. Oh, you know what? This is nice though. Look how far you can see. This is pretty awesome. But we did have to climb up that. That's the first few steps in the morning out of the cabin. Pitter patter, let's get at her. Now, if you're hiking this trail and you're not sure if you want to, when you're coming along, if you want to take the shortcut to the cabin, the best way to know, there's a sign over there that says 1.2 kilometers to cabin 4, which is, that's the long way, it's 1.2. And it says, ungroomed shortcut to cabin 4, 300 meters, walk down only, goes that way. So, there's your shortcut, that's how you know. So we're just under 5 kilometers into the return loop here, and quite a bit different when you come the southern route of the loop back, whereas the north is pretty much open and rolling hills. This one is a little bit more of a tunnel. You get a lot more. There is open, but you get a lot more where there's not much view. It's a little more buggy, little more damp. But the elevation is still there. It's still the rolling hills, but you know, you get a few steep sandy sections on this one. It's does give you a different feel for it. It's different, a little bit different terrain, so it adds a bit of variety. So if you do the south and the north loop, when you do it, it actually works out kind of good. And here we go, up another hill. Just walking along here, looking off in the distance, that big field out there. I think that might have been the far edge of that field that Les and I walked through. If the road's, you know, maybe half a kilometer that way, that could be it. It could be the edge of it, the eastern edge of that big field that we walked through. And we found the shed back in May there. So it's we're about 11:30. I think we're around 11:30 here. 11:37. 7 1/4 so far this morning. We've taken, I think we took 2 breaks. 2 breaks. No, one at 4. We'll have our next break coming up fairly soon here. We'll take another 15 minutes. And then another 4 hours. Or 4 kilometers, another hour hike into Hut 3, and we'll rest there for, maybe we'll take a longer break till we feel good that we can make the rest of the trip out, try to hit the trailhead. We did in 2 hours last night, or Friday night, but I don't think we're going to do it in two today. Hey, I think we'll go a little slower. Maybe.
Conditioned herself.
Down there we have the Epinette Creek itself. So it kind of winds up just along here, and then we'll meet up. I think we got about a kilometer and a bit till it was about 1.6 a few minutes ago, so it's probably still about 1.5 kilometers till we get to the what is it? To the hut and lunch, and I'm hungry. I guess if you're really into needing water, there's a little bit of a seep here. You could probably pick some out. There's a little deer track been through here. Some of the folks this morning. As we wander through it. At least out here, like I say, there's some wells at each of the campsites, so you're able to fill up from a well. You don't have to pull water from a little seep or a creek. But if you had to, there's 2 spots you could pick up water on this bit of the trail. Anyways, all I can think about right now is food, because I'm hungry. Really close to the trail intersection here. Pointed out before, an old car was off in the distance. You couldn't see it very well. Well, it's still a little better there. Another fixer-upper. South part has a way different feel than the north part. It's definitely more treed, more shaded. Consensus among us seems to be that the elevation in it, the up and down is a little bit more, a little steeper. And that the North Loop is not quite as steep, or doesn't have as much elevation to it. It's got lots of hills, but they're more rolling. These ones seem to be a little steeper. Like I say, that's the consensus amongst those that walked it. So maybe what we'll do is I'll turn off when I take a look at the elevations, I can put them up here and maybe you can see whether there's any bit of a difference. Here's one of the roads, service roads through the park, going that way. You can hear the creek down there. Real soft looking down there with all the ferns. Pretty. Just off the trail. So we got to Hut 1 at 1 o'clock, and that was 3.5 hours of hiking. And we left there just after 2:30. What time is it now? It's 2:48, so 10 to 3. We have 8 kilometers to go to the trailhead. And now, normally that's 2.5 to 3 hours. 2 hours 45 minutes to destination, it says, based on our speed. So we'll see how accurate that is. So probably about 3. Kind of figure that it'll take us somewhere about 5:30 by the time we get out, which is a lot earlier than I would have thought based on yesterday's mileage. So this part of the trail I've been over before. Just changes a lot with the seasons. This is a really nice spring hike, in my opinion. It's beautiful now too, but in the spring it's a little cooler. There's not as much foliage in, so you can see some of the views of the Epinette Creek a little bit more, and it's not as hot. I think today's forecast in this area, I didn't dig out my clock with the thermometer on it, but forecast for this area was like 28, 29 degrees Celsius, and it's my experience in Spruce Woods that it tends to get a little bit hotter than that. This is, after all, Manitoba's only desert out here. I think you'll probably see, 30, 31 today wouldn't surprise me. We got a really good breeze coming now. There's some big puffy clouds up there that'll start building throughout the day, and we'll probably get a boomer later on. Hopefully we'll get out of here before the boomers roll in. But other than that, it's been a really good hike. Well, it was good to get out. Well, I'm going to stop it here. I just want to say thanks to my tripping companions for coming out with me and being able to let me get out here. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. So, a lot of hikers, when you're walking, this is what you see when you're tired. Step after step, and you look up and you're following step after step, and you look up and you're following step after step, and you'll keep walking that way. But at this little spot on the Epinette Creek Trail, you actually have to pay attention because it takes off this way. It's right near the end. You're right around a kilometer away from the trailhead. So if you're coming in from, say, way out at the cabin like we are today, you could be quite tired, and if you didn't stop at the cabin 2 there, you could blindly keep walking down that road. So what you want to do is go this way. That's how you head home. Almost there. Hope trip out was good. I had a blast. You'll be hearing from me again, I think. John and Thule. John and Thule were two of the folks we met when we were out there. John actually recognized me from the YouTube channel from Ontario, so, and Thule was his dog. A lot of fun to have out there. It was good to see. Kind of cool for the note. We thought it was a ticket though.
It wasn't a ticket.
At least it wasn't a ticket.